My screen is good over there. Make sure everybody can see me. Should be good to go. Let me make sure I get this name corrected. Yeah, there you go. A little bit better right there. Oh yeah. About to be 7 o'clock. Still got a couple of. Mm-hmm. I think I got my Yo, hey, if you can, I think I got my headsets. I think they are connected. Let me make sure. Connect the AirPods. Connected. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Yeah, if you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat for me, please. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat for me, please. I greatly appreciate that. If you can hear me, let me get a 1 in the chat. If you can hear me, let me get a 1 in the chat. Thank you guys for coming in and checking me out again tonight, man. Hey, let me get a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Should have cut on that AC. Let me get a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Pretty sure you can. But I just want to make sure. Cool, man. I'm going to get started here in just a moment. Give me a moment. Go ahead and get started. Yes, sir. I'm sure I got mine. Yeah, y'all know, man. I'm gonna let about 2.5 minutes go by, man, just so the people can come in. Maybe 2 minutes, and then I'll just go ahead and get started, man. I hope you guys had an awesome Monday. Like I did, man. Hope you guys got some goals taken, checked off. Got some all your tasks tacked off. If you don't, make sure you put them at the top of the list for tomorrow. Let's make it happen. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started though, man. So yeah, man. So this week right here, man, is more so is on it's to piggyback off of the 6-step process when it comes to sales or being awarded contracts. Whether it may be with a prime, or if you're consulting on somebody, or if you subcontracting, or whatever it may be. We have myself, looking at other people that's in the industry, looking at other people that's actually doing it, been doing it, paying attention to what they got going on, their process and all of that stuff. A lot of people got longer processes depending on their business makeup and all of that good stuff. But for me, I wanted to simplify it and, make it a little bit easier, man, or a little bit more efficient and more detailed that I could possibly, without overcomplicating it or without making it too strenuous, anything like that. The last couple of weeks, we pretty much went over 3 of those steps. I'm going to share my screen here in just a moment, and I will show you exactly what I'm talking about, man. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and share that right now so you guys can see what's going on right here. Like I said last week, or the last couple of times we were doing this live right here, I pretty much focused on step 1, 2, and 3 because that's the steps that I was actually in as well. And so step 4 and 5 and 6, I wanted to go over those a little bit tonight. First I will recap on what we actually went over the last couple of times we went live, just in case we got some new heads on here or somebody else watching this later on and they didn't see the couple of weeks before. I'm gonna do a quick little recap. As far as like step 1, like we said, as far as a market insight and the focus, that's pretty much like I emphasize on picking one agency and not having your hands in the 2 or 3 different agencies, making sure that we figuring out if we are working local, state, or federal. We focus on more so on the federal and the statewide because government, well, not government, but GovCon Marketplace actually has state opportunities as well. So it's the same process if you are doing state contracts or if you're doing federal contracts when it comes to the process of sales or water contracts. You still have to do your market research. You still got to figure out who your target audience is when it comes to the agencies, when it comes to the small businesses that you want to team up with, work with, the other small businesses that's out here who you may want to come under as a subcontractor, or the ones that you may want to just partner with. Depending on what it is, depending on your situation, you know, that's where you're going to handle that. As far step two, as far as engage initiation, that's when you're going to start making those calls and you're going to start reaching out to the contracting officers, reaching out to your ostabus, reaching out to your small business owners as well, reaching out to the SBA reps, all of those good stuff. They have people in those departments that specifically are there to assist people like you and I, whether you got one employee, it's just you, or you got all the way up to 490 employees, you're still technically a small business, depending on how much revenue. If you're making over $40 million in revenue, I think it's over 3 years consecutively, then you're not considered a small business. But for the most part, they're there for small business owners. So make sure that we are engaging, make sure that you are engaging with those individuals on a regular basis. You are following up with those individuals as well, making sure that they know who you are, and what you do and your capabilities, and being able to not only talk about what you can do, but show some sort of influence that you may have in this industry, whether it may be other partners or other small business owners that or just other people that you have worked with in your past. Those are ways that we can cultivate these relationships, which leads to the next step 3, relationship cultivating. Same thing, we got to be strategic about these relationships, and we're not just trying to meet everybody, which leads us down a pointless trail, because they can't do anything for you when it comes to the business or when it comes to your goals and what you actually are trying to accomplish. So with that, we want to make sure that we are not trying to sell them. Especially when it comes to these small businesses, we're not trying to sell them on anything. We're seeing if it's even going to be a good match. So that's where, as far as step 2, that's where the engage initiation. That's where the initial phone call, the initial, whether it may be cold call, or they landed up on your landing page because of a link that you shared or something like that, or you were sharing SB Money Flow because you got the affiliate link. However it is, you got them back to your landing page, and it's another way for you to start seeing who they are and what they actually looking for, what they actually looking to get out of your services. If you are, selling services, or if you're selling products, making sure that we are not just trying to get a transactional sale, and we trying to get a long-term basis relationship, which will lead us to step 4. I call it the easy bucket opportunities. This is when you have, sat down with the SMEs, the subject matter experts, at these small businesses. So, for example, let's say that you are working with a small business, and you see that, let's say that you're coming up under them as a consultant. Let's say that you're doing that, or you're coming under them as a subcontractor. Let's just say that. But you have other relationships as well, because you've been in business on the private side, or you have done a couple of jobs on the statewide and the federal side. So you have cultivated some relationships as well. You've done business with people. You've done transactions with people, meaning y'all have made some money together over a period of time. Set that up to where now these same individuals who you were making money with, you can introduce these opportunities, and just make sure that and you have a team behind you. I don't want to say make sure, but you have a team behind you, to where, let's say that you are you are coming under a contracting company that does, not anything on like with DLT or anything like that, but they do contracting, whatever it may be, not on the road, but they do buildings. Let's say they do exterior buildings, they fix hospitals, they work with the VA, they do all of that good stuff right there. And you want to come under them as a subcontractor, and you have partnerships or you have relationships with your carpenters, with your bricklayers, with your electricians, with um, your HVAC people, with your plumbing people, with so forth and so forth. So you have a team that you can bring with you when it comes to subcontracting, so you can have some sort of value when it comes to that. So when I say easy bucket opportunities, you've already sat down with the SMEs. You already sat down with the people who can make the decisions, the people who already know what's going on. You already know their capabilities. You already know their bandwidth, how fast they want to grow, or where they want to do their business at. You already got all this information. So now it's more so going out there or bringing opportunities to the table that you already know. Like, okay, yep, they can do this right here based on their past performance and based on the information that I've gathered thus far when it comes to working with these prime contractors or working with subcontractors as well. It's the same thing, man. Making sure that the opportunities are aligned with their core, their past performance and their core values and their mission as well. I hope does that make me stop sharing my screen real fast just to see if you guys have any questions or anything like that that I can answer for you. Take a sip of mine. Hope that makes sense for you guys, though. But I wanted to go back to that. I wanted to continue on with the step 4 when it comes to easy bucket opportunities, right? And I wanted to show you guys as far as GovCon Marketplace. Let me sign back in. GovCon Marketplace, what that actually means and how you can pretty much have those opportunities already set up for you. You either can send them to yourself, you can send them to your team, your partners, your team. You can send them to your subject matter experts. However it is that you guys sit down and come to an agreement that what you guys are doing. From there it's just rolling, rolling. JD, yes sir. Okay, cool, man. Cool. Glad that makes sense to you. Let me share my screen. Hey, excuse me. Let me drink some more of this. Gotta forgive me, man. I got some sort of little sniffles or something, man. So I'm drinking some little elderberry tea, some lemon, a little bit of cayenne pepper in there too, just to try to get that phlegm up, loose. But I want to come over here to the federal opportunities when I say this, man, when it comes to easy bucket opportunities. So let's say that you are working with a client, working with a customer, whatever the case may be, and their NATE code is 561210. So if we already know that they already have the past performance for this, they already been doing this for a while, we already know that, let's say that they are a woman-owned business, right? So we want to make sure that we are looking at women-owned opportunities. So what we would do is we would first filter this by the NATE code. I said 561210, which is going to give us all of the opportunities that's out there in pre-solicitation stage, source of salt, and the solicitation stage as well, and the combined synopsis and all of that. It's going to give us all this information right here. It's going to show us, okay, cool. What time frame do we have? It's September the 23rd. These deadlines. Let me go ahead and let me do these from the least, with the latest to the earliest. Okay. So we see, okay, let's say the 24th, and we know, and this is just hypothetical, we know that, oh, this is a source of salt too. Okay, cool. Let's say that we know that, I want to go to a solicitation, operations support. Okay, and let's say that we know that after reading this solicitation right here, let's say that they have worked with the Department of Defense before, or let's say that they worked with Department of Veteran Affairs and they have not worked with Department of Defense before. Let's just say that, and although I said that I don't want you guys to work to even look at opportunities for the Department of Defense, we're using this as a hypothetical right now, so I don't have to search through opportunities. Then Department of Transportation. Okay, right here. Let's just do Department of Transportation. It's 10-2. Let's say that we don't read a solicitation. We already know, what is actually in store, like what we actually looking for. We can go ahead and we can download all the documents right here. All of these documents is from sam.gov, and we understand and we see like, okay, cool. These people my client can definitely go for these right here. This is one that you got in the bucket that you can add onto your pipeline that is affiliated with your client, so you don't get anything mixed up. We want to make sure that whenever you add in these solicitations or these opportunities to your pipeline, you want to make sure that you are organizing them in a way to where if it's not mixing up with another one of your other clients, or it's not mixing up with your own opportunities that you may be going after as a prime. So you want to make sure that your CRM is set up or your pipeline is set up to where when you add these solicitations over there, you're able to organize them or make sure that they are ready. That you already know exactly where they actually going to, so you're not getting confused at who this is for and who this was for, who opportunity this is, and it's not, you're not confusing yourself. So with that, I would add this onto the pipeline right here, or I would have this right here sent to the SME, the subject matter expert, if that was the case, if we had it set up like that, or if my team was the one that was assisting them with the opportunities that we're going after, that we want to go after, because this is something new. This is a whole nother way that they're doing business now as far as this agency. Then cool, yeah. I would send it out to the team. We would have a meeting. We would discuss like, I think we can go after this opportunity. So it's more so just getting the cost of everything, and I don't have to guess on that because we already know how much they're going to charge. You're not trying to upcharge anything. You're not trying to, get anything off the top or anything like that. Because in this situation right here, we coming in as a subcontractor. So we already know what our price is. So let's say, and that's the best way really when it comes to making sure that you're going to get paid, is coming and making sure that you have a subcontracting agreement with the prime. So that way that your company's name is pretty much on or in the proposal itself, if that makes sense. But let's get back to that. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but the easy bucket stuff, man, all of these right here, as you notice, are the same NAICS codes. So if for the most part, if these ain't doubled up or they're the same ones, like a couple of these are right here, and all of them are solicitations, I could go through all of these and say, hey, I believe this may be a good look or this may not be a good look. Once I get a VA, I can send that over to them, and they at some point, going off of a winning solicitation, they'll know, okay, these are the solicitations that I know that that they like to go after. So let's go ahead and move forward with this one. Oh no, they don't like to go after these right here, even though it has the same NAICS code. They don't like those kinds right here because it involves this. Making sure that we have all of those that communication written down, and we got the SOPs written down to where they're not questioning anything. They already know the next step. That's how we're going to make this thing a lot more easier. And then utilizing SB money flow and making sure that you have everything sent over to your pipeline and your CRM, setting up your follow-up time, setting up everything to make sure that you're having these conversations with your team, well, with your prime contractor or with your client if you are a consultant for this small business. So these right here, this is right here's what I mean by easy buckets, man. Like we don't look, because you got to remember now, we are reading these solicitations. You know, like we ain't just looking over them and saying like, oh, hey, we can go for these, and you just wasting people's time because that's something that they can't go after. You know, like, no, we're going to open up every single solicitation. If that's what you do, you could, somebody else could handle that. You know, I don't know how your business is set up, but if you like me and you got, it's me and then I got another little team, really, but not really, because I haven't utilized them yet. And for one, I got SB Money Flow, so a lot of that stuff. One second, I dropped my mouth. So yeah, and I got SB Money Flow, so a lot of that stuff, man, is, you know, it's automated, really. You know, everything is right here. Like I don't have to go over here and look at fpds.gov. I don't have to go over here and look at, you know, USA spending or anything like that. I don't have to go over here to Dibs to look for products or anything. Like all of this stuff right here, all of these opportunities are right here. Even in the state opportunities, man, right now they still have North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, California opportunities out there, you know, when it comes to state opportunities. So this is another, you know, easy bucket opportunities, because some of these people, and I think Dr. Travis had mentioned it before, some of these small businesses, once they get up to the federal level and they start doing those opportunities, they don't even focus too much anymore on state opportunities. So they may miss a lot of these opportunities that's actually out here specifically for them, you know, that they can actually go ahead and get done and they can actually do. And this is another, you know, again, you still have to take your time to read these opportunities, man. If you don't have a team, you got to make sure that you are looking at the scope of work, looking at how much time you have to be able to reply back to these opportunities. If you got 2 days and you're not even in a position, or let's say 3 days and you're not even in a position to, you don't know no numbers, you don't have no past performance already written down, to where all you got to really do is just copy and paste and change some words. And I'm gonna get to that here in a second as well when it comes to compelling proposal development. Like you got to have some of that stuff, man, on there, to where, you know, you already got it in your folder, or you already got it somewhere, to where especially if you are either in control of writing the proposals, you're on a team of writing proposals, you know, or anything like that. If you're in capture management, like you want to make sure that you have your clients or your prime that you're working with past performance and what they done, to where now you can see, or you can paint a picture of the type of work that they actually like doing, or the type of work that you know that they actually can get done and they can do. You know, whether it may be looking at some of the looking at some of the past reviews that they had from other agencies, whether it may be state or federal as well. You know, so when I say easy bucket opportunities, man, these are ready to go right now. They're solicitations, or they are combined synopsis when it comes to the federal side. Right here, combined synopsis. Yeah, and these right here ready to go, like they funded, ready to go right now. You know, what's a private sector collaboration pathway, Jordan addendum. So hey, you know, and this. Yeah, it's 2025. So yeah, man. So that's what I mean by easy bucket opportunities. We're not wasting our time. We're filtering everything when it comes to here. We already know we have been filtering it to where, like, if we're working with the Department of Transportation, or let's say we're working with the Department of State, we only looking at those particular opportunities under that particular NAICS code. So if we do the filtering and we do all of that stuff right there, and we see that, hey man, it's only dang on 3 opportunities on there. Okay, we're gonna read those 3 opportunities, and we're gonna go ahead and see if we're able to tackle those, and see how. And if we are, then we're gonna be able to move up to the next step. If we ain't, move that to the side and move on to the next one. It's just that simple. Just that simple. Which moves me to the. You guys got any questions so far? Why shouldn't we look at DoD opportunities? Give me 1 second, JD. Oh man, elderberry good, yo. elderberry, man, for your boost that immune system, all that good stuff, man. Coughs, colds, you know what I mean? Make sure you get that in your body, man. You know, we got some virus and stuff going around and all that good stuff. So make sure you guys doing your thing, man, and staying healthy. But look, so okay, you said why shouldn't we look at DoD opportunities? So the reason why I say that, JD, especially if you are very new to federal government contracting, DoD is I'm talking about, they are huge, you know, and they have a lot of different. Sometimes it can be a lot of different things that you got to do. Like they ask for a lot of different things, but by all means, man, if you want to tackle it, go ahead and do it, man. There's different departments in the DoD. You know, you got Department of the Navy, Department of Air Force, Department of, you know, like all of that good stuff, man. So, you know, you got several different departments that you could opportunity work with when it comes to DoD. I just say pick an agency that's doing just as much as any other. I can't even say that because they're not doing just as much. DoD spends the most out of all the agencies, pretty much. You know, so if you can't get around not doing business with them or looking at opportunities that's DoD, then hey, go ahead and go for it. But when you do that, you want to make sure that you are honing in like a laser focus on a agency that's in DoD. And you're not just saying, hey, I work with DoD. Well, man, DoD is big. You know, you got a lot of different agencies in DoD, man. So you want to make sure that if you do decide to go down that path, that you working with one agency inside of the Department of Defense. You understand? Does that make sense? And again, the only reason why I say that is because, you know, we're still fairly new, man. So we want to make sure that we're working with people that we can, you know, they're not huge. You know, everybody still has a certain amount of contracting officers, but the DoD, man, is big, man, and they got a lot. You know, they got a lot. So, you know, getting in front, they do. However, DoD could be beneficial as well, man, because they hold a lot of conventions, they hold a lot of events, they hold a lot of different, you know, different virtual not virtual consultation, but virtual webinars that you can literally, you know, get in front of these people that's up on the DoD. So I hope that answers your question, man. So I don't prefer it. That's all, man. I just say like I'm gonna show you. Let me show you what I mean right here. What's your Nate code, JD? Write your Nate code in the chat, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull up your Nate code, and then I'm gonna show you who the top agencies are that are spending the money in your services or spending the money in your Nate code. And then while you're doing that, step 5, man, is like I said again, 238-220. Oh, that's yeah. HVAC. Where you at, man? With the HVAC. What state you in? Let me see. Well, look, let me share my screen real fast. Missouri. Okay, bet. Let me show you what I'm talking about, G. Okay, right here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And this is one of the best things about SB Money Flow, man, because again, all of the stuff is public information. You feel me? But so I don't have to go to all of these different public sites. All of this information is right here, you know, and I'm able to look at it all right here and see what the money is, see who actually spending, see how much they spending, how much they have spent, you know, in the last few years. Yeah, plumbing, heating, air conditioning. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, 2003. They don't have all the information for 2020. Okay, well, okay. So look, check this out. So as you see, again, let me go back to 2023. Because 2024 is about to come to an end. But as you see, man, Department of Defense, the highest one, $304 million what they spent last year. Last year on your Nate code. But right up under there in the 19 million is Department of State. You know, then you got the Department of Agriculture. You got Department of Health and Human Services. Like, and you would go back to see how those numbers fluctuate. You see, look at this. Department of Veteran Affairs came up here in 2022. They was right up under Department of Defense. You know, so you would do your due diligence and see who are the ones that's really spending the money in here. Like, who's spending the millions? Even though you want to see billions, you know, seeing millions is still cool too, man, especially if you're getting started. You know, so let me just show you right here Department of Defense and the 214 million that they spent. As you see, it's showing me the specific agencies that actually spent the money. You see, you don't like that's what I mean by, you know, and all the agencies are big like this, man. Like they all have these different sub agencies. So you're not targeting the Department of Defense. You're targeting Mid-Atlantic. You know what I mean? Okay. NASFAC, Cisco, Mid-Atlantic. You're targeting this group of people right here because you see that they spent or they awarded at least 75 million in year, I think that was 2021. You know, and these right here are the contracting officers in this particular office. So this is how you would get your target list. You would get that list to where now you understand and now you see like, okay, I'm not targeting these, I'm not targeting them, and I'm not targeting them. I see this is the agency or the sub agency who has been spending the money. This is who I need to get in front of. This is who I need to reach out to the Ostabus. I need to figure out and see who is actually all in this agency right here. Where they at? I need to go on LinkedIn. I need to follow all of them. You know, I need to go repost some of their stuff. I need to go share some of their stuff. I need to go just get the name Courtney Hayden out there in front of them. You know, I need to get GovCom. I need to do all of this. I need to do all of that, especially if you're looking to try to get meetings with these individuals, or you're looking to, you know, try to have long-term relationships with these individuals, especially if you're looking for them to spend some money with you. You feel me? A lot of times, you know, you may not ever really get to talk to them on the phone. But yo, you definitely gonna have some emails going on, man. Especially if you guys are doing business. I hope that makes sense right there, man. When it comes to that. But let me move to step 5 though, man. Let me move to step 5. Right here, man. Compelling proposal development, yo. Compelling proposal development. This is the part that people be struggling with, or people be like, oh man, how do you write a proposal? How do you do this? How do you do this? Yo, let me show you what's up, man. I'm gonna show you guys something. And this is something that I got from I think it was the 7J program the SBA got going on, right? This is a template for proposal writing when it comes to, you know, a RFP. When you look under solicitations, man, and you reading these solicitations, a lot of them under the instructions to offerors, they have it's a number on there. And it's pretty much telling you or saying how they want you to make your proposal look. Now, all of these are not going to be the same, man, because sometimes you got proposals that they just want you to send in a quote, and they already got the template for you. You just got to plug in the numbers and do it, you know, for the base year and then all 4 option years. And that's it. That's all they want. But for some of them, you know, especially when you're talking about over 300,000 or whatever the case may be, I'm pretty sure maybe a little bit less than that. They want you to show past performance. They want you to show, you know, tell you the technical reason. They want you to write down the technical description. They want you to write down all of that good stuff, man. But when you already have a lot of this stuff already in place, man, all this right here ain't nothing but plug and play, you know, except for when you do the past performance, you know. And I learned, let me stop sharing this real fast. And I learned a lot of this stuff right here. I learned that the past performance side, how to separate yourself from everybody else. For example, let's say that you were a HVAC. Boom. Let's just say HVAC, man. You were doing HVAC, man, in a VA hospital. And it just so happened y'all needed to shut down power to a certain section of the VA hospital, right? When you did that, it was still people in there. It was still patients going on. They never lost power. The generators never had to kick in. Like, none of that stuff happened. You guys were able to secure power, make sure power was good in the area, make sure everything was safe, cut up, roped off. You did the job that you needed to do. You were able to put power back on, whatever the case, whatever you had to do, man. You had to do all of that stuff. And then you got the job done. You moved on, you got paid, you moved on to the next one. You feel me? Now you hear everything that I just explained as far as, man, we was in there. It was patients. It was customers in there. It was patients in there. It was people getting stuff done. We had to cut off power. None of the power was lost. Those are the descriptions that you want to have when you were writing your proposals. Now, for example, let's just say I did like the regular, how everybody else normally do. Let me show you what everybody else do, man. They literally copy and paste this right here. Such and such has provided sample projects of my past performance and accelerated in accordance with the RFP requirements, instructions, and evaluation criteria for solicitation, right here, past performance information will include evaluation factors, so include recent. And so they are literally copy and paste this same thing word for word, and then put their company name in there, where they did it at the time frame, and then that's it. Like, they'll say, okay, yep, we did HVAC work at the VA in Missouri. We did everything according to the contract. We didn't have any issues. That was it. And then they'll go there and put in their other past performance, and they'll do the same thing. And then they'll do the other past performance, and they'll write the same thing. Me, on the other hand, did you hear what I just described? I'm telling you that, we did this job in Missouri, but we had to cut off power. We had to secure power. We had to, and they didn't lose power. They didn't lose power. The hospital didn't lose no power. The patients, they didn't lose no patients. They was on defibrillator. They had filters going on. They didn't lose none of that stuff while we was in there. It was kids in the hospital as well. None of the kids were injured. Like, I'm using all of these little small examples of how my job that we did was a little bit more, dangerous, or a little bit more structured when it comes to our technical approach or how we handled the job. We had everything written out to where if this was to happen, we do this. If that was to happen, we do that. And it's literally explained just like that when it comes to writing that proposal. But let me go back to sharing my screen a little bit on that proposal, man, because I know y'all want to see a little bit more of that, don't you? Yeah. And this thing right here, man, it literally tells you or shows you how to pretty much create your proposal. And all this stuff right here is plug and play, man. I can literally come in here and enter my, you can do, what is that, Control F, and then I can come in here and GovCon with Courtney. Anytime I see, let's see, what is that? What is this? Let me see. Anytime I see insert company name, then I can have it, put GovCon with Courtney. You feel me? Replace this with GovCon with Courtney. And it's going to do, I think it should replace all. Yeah. Like, you see what I'm saying? And I just did that real fast. I messed up on it. But just like that, man, it'll literally come in every time you see, anytime you see company name or whatever the case may be, it's going to have GovCon with Courtney on there. Anytime I want to add in any of these things right here, all I got to do is come over here and replace that with that, or find this and add that, replace it with that. You understand? Like, that's the type of format that this is actually already in, man. Especially when you put it in Word. You feel me? So, and again, of course, I'm gonna go ahead and let me go ahead and erase this one. I'll take this one back right here. But yeah, and that's literally it, man. Like, so yeah, it's still kind of plug and play right here in the beginning. Like, none of this stuff right here is going to change, except for, of course, the solicitation number, if it was prepared by somebody else or whatever, and who was prepared for. None of that's going to change. All of this is going to stay the same. This is going to stay the same. You know, all of that stays the same. You feel me? My background, like all of this stay the same. The scope, that starts to change there, man. The technical description, that's where you got to add in the stuff. The past performance, that's where you add in stuff. But you got to remember, after the job is done, you just coming in here and just updating this past performance. You know, so when it comes to the next one, all you're doing is just plug and playing it. But this is one right here that, shoot, you can pretty much use for almost all of your proposals, right? Your proposals. But you want to read that solicitation to make sure that it has 52.212 TAC 1 on there. And it's going to say it in the instructions to offerers. Instructions to offerers. And it's going to have the numbers 52.212 TAC 1. When you see that in the solicitations, then you know that you can use that proposal format that I just showed you guys. Matter of fact, when we get to 250 in the SB Money Flow group, the PureMoney group, PureMoney family, I'm dropping the proposal in there. When we get to 250, I'm putting proposal in there for all of y'all to have for free, no charge, for free, may I add. Can you speak about how the SB Money Flow can work with? Let me see. What do you mean by work? Okay, so I think I understand what you're saying, but let me go ahead and show you. Phil, what is? I'll put it in. Let me share my screen real fast. So let's come back right here, Phil. Let me see what this one is. 311999. Food manufacturing. See that right there? Me, myself. See, look at that. Okay. Department of Defense. Let me look. And I'm gonna continue on. Let me continue my thought. That right there, when it comes to food manufacturing as well, depending on what food, I would look into the state too, man, because you got to think, G. You got the prison system, the jail systems, you got the school systems, because they got cafeterias, you got the colleges, the universities, you got all of this stuff in every state, and they all eat. They all eat. But let's stick to this. But the federal side, G, as you see, the Department of Defense again, man, like they spent $286 million. Where they awarded small businesses $286 million in this particular NAICS code right here in 2024. So this is what they done right now. Let me see last year. And they probably ain't done. Oh yeah, come on. What's that? Okay, wait. Let me go back to 2023. So look, yeah, So as you see, I see right now the Department of Veteran Affairs is spending that money too. $122 million in 2022. They did, and then right below then, the Department of Agriculture did $27 million. In 2022, they did $120 million. So that's where I would start at right there if I was you as well with this particular NAICS code. As you see, Department of Veteran Affairs. So again, it's utilizing SB Money Flow to make your life a little bit easier. It brings all of these resources, all of these free resources, all of this information is out there on fpds.gov, on usaspending.gov, on sam.gov, and it brings it right here under an umbrella. Now, even though all this information on sam.gov, you're not going to get it compiled like this. These right here are the contracting officers who awarded, man, come on now, who awarded, all right, these right here coming up. who awarded contracts in the past. I wonder why these right here ain't coming up. I don't know why that one right there wasn't coming up. I'm gonna have to check that out. But and you have to look and see what network contract offers that was in as well. I think that's out. I think that's out by Cali, man. But don't quote me on that one. But again, man, this is how this is how you would utilize SB Money Flow to see where the opportunities actually are. I can't put in the same NAIC code here because states don't use NAIC codes. They use other codes, almost like a PSC code almost, but it's not that either. And I don't think I can find anything right now on that. I have to go through all of these state opportunities, but you can also go to, Okay, here go one for heating and cooling and air conditioning, HVAC right here. This one, open date is 7/23. Oh, so that was today. RP for York chiller prevention maintenance. Oh, here it is. Food and beverage dispensing. Oh, that's equipment. And see, it takes you straight to, I think, East Carolina University. So this still piggybacks off of what you just asked me, especially with your NAIC code. You said that you do food. What was that? Food manufacturing, right? And so I would look at this particular contract. I'm just gonna go ahead and show it to you. I would look at this particular contract, and it's an ice cream machine. And you see right here, this name right here, Brian Tuten, Tuten. He's a purchasing officer at Eastern Carolina. He would be in my Rolodex. you feel what I'm saying, G? So you see how fast I did this. You got his number, you got his email address, you got the other purchasing office email address, because it could be more of them, but this is his personal. You understand? So it's just that easy, man. And this is in the state of North Carolina. So it's really just doing the research, man, playing around with it and seeing what you actually looking for, and actually seeing man, I'm telling you, man, it's dope. And who actually has your money. That's why in the first step that I have on there, we're not looking at 5, 6 different we're not looking at 2, 3 different agencies. We only focusing on one agency. We already know they're spending millions in that particular NAIC code. Now, for example, if you come on and your NAIC code don't have a lot of money, or they haven't been awarding small businesses a lot of money in that particular NAIC code, then you may want to look at a PSC code, or maybe you want to look and see, okay, how they actually are awarding these contracts. Because sometimes, like for example, you can have you can do janitorial and it'd be 561720, but you could, and that's who but they got it awarded under a 561210, which is facility support services. You see what I'm saying? So you can go to FPDS to see, like, okay, how did they award this contract? Like, okay, they awarding a lot of these through facility support services, with opposed to putting the janitorial NAIC code on there. So you would utilize both of them, or you would put your NAIC code in there, and you would put facility support services NAIC code in there as well, just to see, like, okay, so are they doing this for janitorial? Are they just doing this for roofing? Is this for HVAC? Is this for electrical? You have to play around with it and see exactly who's doing what, if that makes sense. But that brings me to number 6 too, man. Sealing the deal when it comes to sales. Let me share my screen. When it comes to sales, we got to. That's really awarded the contract, contract reward. Or if you are working with a client and you have shown your value or brought your value proposition there or to them, then hey, get them on. Make sure that the paperwork is right, yo. Make sure that you have a lawyer or someone that understands that verbiage to read over it. If you didn't have the subcontracting agreement, or it's not your consulting agreement, or it's not your whatever agreement that you guys want that you guys are coming up under, If it's not your personal contract, then I would advise you to have someone read that for you. In a lot of cases, man, you can pay $150, 75, depending on how many pages it is, because a lot of these lawyers charge by the pages. So if it's only a 4-page subcontracting contract or 3-page consulting contract, then it may not cost you as much if something was 250 pages that they got to read through. So, and that's the best thing about being a vet, man. We got so many different resources out here. I'm a part of the veteran institution procurement, and it's a whole index of all small businesses that are veteran that went through that program, scattered all across the United States, And like we had a 4-day forum or 4-day convention up there in Maryland. What was that, man? What's the name of that? Potomac, Maryland. And man, I'm talking about it was dope, man. All veteran-owned small businesses. They brought on contracting officers. They brought directors of these agencies. They brought other small businesses who went through the program and who are now making $100, $200, even $700 million in government contracting. The guy that's on my LinkedIn page, I think I took it. I'll change my LinkedIn background, but I had on my page, the SBA banner, a banner. The black gentleman that was on the end of it made $700 million in government contract all over the world. He went through that program and literally changed everything, man. So in that program, I say that because in that program, I got access to the government contracting lawyers, government contracting CPAs, government contracting bankers. Like I have a whole list of them now, So with that, I still got to pay, but I get a little discount. But make sure, man, that the paperwork is correct when you're doing these things, man. Making sure that you understand what's being read to you, making sure that you understand and the communication is laid out in black and white to what you guys agree on. That's what I mean by sealing the deal when it comes to being a consultant, or it comes to being a subcontractor, or you a prime, getting that partnership cultivated or getting that team and agreement cultivated is sealing the deal. On another note, whenever you are going after, you are the prime and you are going after a opportunity that's out there, and you go through the whole process of getting the team and agreement. I mean, you get the team together. You got your subject matter expert together. You got your proposals. You got opportunities already together. You guys have submitted proposals together. And you guys have won a proposal. Let's say you at that step. You done made the sale. You done got awarded the contract. What's next? The next step is to get busy. The next step is to always, and I mean always, have a debriefing. Always. And that's if you are awarded a contract or if you are not awarded a contract. Because either way it goes, you want to know, why did you win? Because sometimes, I said it before. Sometimes you can be awarded a contract simply because you were the lowest. You were the lowest number. That's the reason why they picked you. But you still want to know that. You want to at least know, like, okay, well, what were they trying to charge? You know what I mean? What did I understand? Like, did we come in too low? Like, what was the industry's number? That's why you got to do your due diligence when it comes to that stuff, man. So you don't, you put in a contract that's $20,000. And everybody else put in 80,000, but you say you can get the job done at 20. Like, of course they're gonna pick you. Of course they're gonna award you that contract. But when you look at what your competition or what the other people, your constituents, or what your potential teaming partners or the other people, the other small businesses put in, and you see, man, they was around 75, 80,000. Yeah, you left a lot of money on the table. That means you don't know what your industry is. You don't know what industry charging right now, man. You might be a little bit back on time. You might need to catch up and see what's actually going on and what people actually charge these days. You can't leave that much money on the table when it comes to it. I hope that makes sense, man, when it comes to sealing the deal. Making sure that if you don't get awarded that contract, why didn't we get awarded? Oh, well, you really didn't explain, how you were going to do this particular project. And these, and we needed to know because these right here, because of these factors. You know, you want to make sure that you are communicating. You want that you know why you didn't get that. You know why you didn't get awarded. And sometimes, in some cases, not all of them, not all, very little cases, you can even get the proposal of the awarded small business. Of course, they're gonna redact out a lot of information, retract a lot of information, mark it out or whatever. But you're able to see how they actually structure theirs, what their technical description looked like, how they actually explained how they were going to do the project. You know, you can, and from there you can learn, you can just get better. You know, you're going to get better the more opportunities that you submit. More opportunities you submit, you see like, okay, we are good at this, we are not so good at this. Let's go after these opportunities right here and let's stay away from these opportunities. Just like that. Just like that, man. I hope that makes sense too. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You guys got any more questions for me? Want to make sure that you are, like I mentioned, the Pure Money family. Want to make sure that you come over here. And what did we change that to? What was it called? Community. I think did it change the name? No, I don't think it changed the name. Yeah, I had the dang on. Okay, cool. Yeah, make sure that you are signing up in for the Pure Money family. When we get to 250, I will be releasing that proposal template inside of the group. You know, hopefully you guys, it can benefit you guys, you know, in a way that takes the proposal writing stuff out of your mind, because that is not, you know what I mean, anything scary, anything to run from. Anything to run from. You know, so when we get to 250, we're gonna go ahead and get that out the way. Let me see what you got. Is SB Money Flow capable of creating a strategy to get in front of the contracting officers, like emails, phone scripts, etc., pertaining to your NAICS code? No, I mean, so with that, that's pretty much what if you go back and look at a couple of the lives that I've done, you know, I pretty much explained that when it comes to getting in front of the contracting officers. That's why I showed you the list of contracting officers that was right there and how easy it is to get their information. From there, your marketing tactics is with your capability statement. You know, before you send that capability statement on that first email, you want to just introduce yourself. You know, you got to work on that subject line, work on your email to make sure that, you know, they actually opening it. And you can see your open rate in SB Money Flow as well. But you have to create your own strategy on getting in front of them. SB Money Flow gives you the information. It gives you their email address. You can get their phone number. You can get their office. You know, you can get how much money they actually been spending. All of that good stuff. That's what you get all in one. So you're not really, you know, it's not a script or anything like that. You know, like you gotta fail forward pretty much, man. You gotta come up with your own way of getting in front of people. Mine now, a couple of lives back that I've done, I did go over a sample script when it comes to calling contracting officers, when it comes to calling small businesses as well. So if you missed that, you can go back and check that out and see if you can get some, some little skibbits, you know, or some little tips from there that help you along when it comes to, you know, cultivating a skip or a phone script or anything like that. But for sure, getting in front of them is emailing them, calling the Ostabu, you know, first, making sure that you introducing yourself to the Ostabu. All agencies have Ostabu, man. Small business for disadvantaged and underutilized small businesses, right? And so with that being said, having an opportunity that you already have looked at and knowing like, okay, cool, this is a forecast opportunity that don't come out until third quarter 2025 is ample time for me to get in front of this. ample time for me to get in front of the contracting officer, ample time for me to get in front of the actionable who can introduce me to the contracting officer. You know, that's where you use a little skit, the little hints to, or the little tactics to where, okay, you've been trying to email or call the contracting officer and they never emailed you back. They never called you. Okay, cool. Now you got to email, or you got to CC your actionable rep that's in your area. You CC your actionable rep in on that email. You know, you call your actionable, you email your actionable and let them know, like, hey man, I've been trying to reach out to this individual. You know, they haven't really got back to me. You know, can you help me? Oh yeah, for sure. What are you looking to get? Oh yeah, okay. So this opportunity to dialogue and just move forward from there. Again, we are trying to build relationships. We're not trying to do one-offs. You know, this may not happen the first time, the second time. You know, a lot of sales don't happen until between the 7th and the 15th time, the 15th contact. So hey, you may have to contact these people 10, 15 times. You know, if they getting hundreds of emails every week and people asking them dumb stuff, or they asking them questions that they can get on their website, you know, or they can get from sam.gov, or they can get from, you know, from all online, man, they sending that to the garbage or moving that over to a folder and moving on to the next one because they got other stuff to do, man, other stuff to worry about, other than to answer questions that you can probably get the answer to yourself if you actually just did a little bit of research. Hope that makes sense as well. I'm a veteran with a paint distribution. Okay. Do you suggest a GSA contract vehicle? That's up to you, man. I can't really say, you know, GSA. GSA is GSA. I would literally go on there and see what's the Nate code. What if you're a paint distributor? I mean, if you do paint distribution, you sell paint is what you're saying, right? So I would look at Department of Defense, DLA. So I would go to Dibs. Dibs is who you want to actually see who actually is buying. Well, I ain't gonna say see who buying it. Dibs buys paint. Dibs buys paint products. They buy anything dealing with paint. They the one to do all of that stuff because that's an actual product that you're looking to sell. You know, so no, I would recommend getting on those GSA contact vehicle because you're talking about products. When you're talking about services, okay, cool. You know, if you got you know, a paint distribution company and you got painters and you dang on you know, you do what are they called? Framing as well. You know, you do remodeling on a commercial side. Okay, now you talking two different languages now. Now I would check and see how much GSA is actually spending in that particular NAICS code. You know, if they are awarding contracts under that NAICS code or are they using another NAICS code. I would figure that out first before I even attempted to get on the GSA schedule. And I hope that answers your question. Shaking hands and kissing babies. Yes, sir, Phil. You got to do it, man. You got to do it. Get in front of these people, man. Let them know. Start local if you got to. Start in your local area, man. Join the Chamber of Commerce. You know, go to some of these public meetings, like your city council meeting, like your commissioners, your county commissioners meeting. Start going to your airport commission meeting. Start going to the design team meeting. Like, all of these are open to the public for free. And that's a way for you to get out of that nervousness of showing your face, letting people know who you are, introducing yourself, because you're right there in your city. You probably see people that you see already, you know, maybe not on an everyday basis, but you're going to see people that maybe you ain't never seen. And you may see people that you know, so hey, be more open-minded when it comes to shaking hands and kissing babies, man, because that's, you know, I had a hard time doing that, man. Like, what should I say? You know, I don't want to sound stupid. I don't want to sound dumb. I don't want to get turned off. Man, I don't care about none of that now, man. I stumble on words all the time, man. And so do they. You feel me? And a lot of stuff, when I get to talking about this government contract and stuff, man, they don't even know nowhere as near the level that I know. So they more so intrigued that I even know what I'm talking about. You know, so yeah, man, get out there and shake some hands. Kiss them babies, man. Let them know who you are. Introduce yourself. You know, let's get out of that scarcity mindset, that fearful mindset, and run toward fear. I just heard that a little bit ago, man, a couple of days ago on a podcast. Run toward fear. You know, no matter what it is, man, run toward it when it comes to that fear. Because 9 times out of 10, it's all in our heads. All in our heads. Also, when it comes to that, man, you know, SP Money Flow can actually assist when it comes to networking. You know, it has a, let me go to it real fast. A networking event cheat code to where, let me share my screen real fast. I think you guys some of you guys may have already seen this before. But yeah, I could come here and it's gonna spit out. Let me see my industry. Okay, let me see. Let me write 311999. Let's say Department of Veteran Affairs. Let's say GovCon with Courtney. Okay, let's say that information about consulting and oh wait, no. You said let's say HVAC. And plumbing. Let's just do that. Just to start off. This is just an example. A quick example. Of course, we will put more detail in there. Of course, you would actually, you know, put in your company information and all the stuff that you need to put in there to give them a good answer. I mean, it's to give you a good answer. Man, do I need a refresh? Oh, okay. I don't. So cool. So right here, let's say that you are attending the industry days and conference guidelines. You know, right here, same thing, man. Research, preparation, engagement, networking, follow-up. Follow-up game is probably one is woo. Follow-up is right up there we're going. If you're gonna go, man, to meet some people, make sure you're following up. But right here, look, you got networking questions already for you, questions for other businesses, icebreakers. You know, hey, I'm Courtney. Courtney will bring you to this event. You know, objectives to accomplish. So if you're having trouble when somebody says these types of objectives, we're giving you a couple examples. Pre-event to-do list. You know, all of the good stuff, man. Post-event to-do list. A small example of an elevator pitch. I can come back in here and tweak it a little bit more to say, hey, man, no, I'm going to this type of event. It's going to have this type of people. Can you give me some answers? I mean, can you give me some examples for this? Or can you switch it to, you know, for it to be designed for this particular type of event? You know, that's the best. That's, man, you know, I'm talking about that's magic right there, man. And it's all right here, man. And you see how I didn't have to come up with none of this stuff. PureMoney AI is going to give me the information, but I still got to be creative in talking to it. You know, I can't just be broad in a lot of different cases, man. I like to hone in specifically on what I'm talking about, the target audience that I'm talking about, and who I want to talk to. I talk to ChatGPT just like I talk to a human being. Exactly how I talk to a human being, because I wanted to get my understanding of how I write, you know, of my way of talking, kind of, sort of, in a sense, you know, and I hope that makes sense. But yeah, man, hey, I appreciate you guys coming here tonight, man, to check me out, man, and checking out my 6-step process to sales, you know, my 6-step process to getting awarded government contracting. I do have that 6-step process in the group. I'm going to upload it again today for you guys that want it again. For you guys that want it. The new updated copy. I'll go ahead and upload that as soon as I get off of here. Next week, I will be here again on a Monday at 7 o'clock. I'm still trying, I'm still trying to make sure I'm being here and show you guys my journey, show you guys what I'm doing, how I'm utilizing SP Money Flow, man, to take me from, you know, being scared to get in front of people to now I don't mind stumbling over words, because I don't stumble too much now when it comes to introducing myself and my company and what I do and my values, you know, and my proposition. you know, when it comes to teaming up with individuals. I'm targeted at teaming up with individuals now, man. Like, I'm not just throwing some rocks out there and figuring out like, hey, man, who want to work with me? Nah, I already see you do this, but you won't do it on this level, man. Let me come in and let's work together on this stage right here. You know, let's make some money together. Who wouldn't want to make an extra $10 million a year? Who wouldn't want to make an extra $600,000 a year when it comes to a business who's making $300,000 a year in revenue? You know, especially when it comes with a client or with a customer who you have never done any business with. You know, that's what I mean by being targeted, man, and honing in on who you actually need, who you actually want to work with, and who you actually who you want to work beside when it comes to these teams. When it comes to these government agencies, man, make sure that we communicate well. We're following up with them. You call them Monday, they don't answer, send an email Monday. They don't reply back at all by Wednesday, call them again on Wednesday. You know, and then call them again Friday. And then you know what? Guess what? If you don't talk to them at all that week right there, you got a whole nother week coming up, man. Call them on that Monday. You know what I mean? Or switch it up. Call them on Tuesday again. Then switch it up. Call them on Thursday. However you want to do it, man. But remember to send that email as well. Leave voicemails. Let them know, like, hey, man, I'm calling you for this right here. Just want to see if I get on your schedule. You know, hey, can I set up a meeting with you? I want to get on. Can I get on your schedule the next 2 weeks? I'm gonna email you as well. Make sure make sure you working on your script that you are comfortable with saying. You know, with me doing all this stuff right here, man, it ain't gonna help you none if I just gave it to you and you scared to say it. You understand what I'm saying? So, hey, let's go out here and be great. Let's go out here and build some meaningful relationships. Let's go out here and show individuals our values, show them what we actually can do. Get them books straight. Make sure that we get our paperwork straight, our relationship straight. We're not doing any shady work. We're not doing no fake middleman work or none of that stuff, man. Like, we actually conducting business. And that's what it's about, man. Hey, I appreciate you guys again, man, coming out here, checking me out, man. I will see you. Oh, tomorrow, matter of fact, man, you know, Dr. Travis, I think he going live tomorrow. You know, he go live Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. He goes over SB Money Flow. He goes over small business tips and ideas. He goes over the marketplace. He goes in depth on automations. He goes over a lot more stuff than I actually go over, man. Of course, you know, man, he's been in the game way longer than I have, man. And hey, whatever he say, that's the route that you need to go. That's the route that you need to go. But check him out tomorrow, man, on live. I think he comes in. He goes on at 8:30 on this channel right here. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I think he'll be here Thursday as well. Again, man, if you got any questions, if you want to know, if you want me to hone in on any type of topics, I see you were talking about scripts and stuff like that. I may talk about scripts next week, man. You know, just to get people a little bit more open on what they should be saying or what not to say, and to get the relationship moving forward. That's what you want to do. You want to make sure after every conversation, after every interaction with the client, with your potential client, you're moving the ball forward. Something you're leaving with something. Like something is getting done, whether it may be, hey, let's say you got an NDA sign. Okay, this next meeting now you got a consulting client sign. Now you talking about paper now. Now you look like y'all moving the ball forward. You understand? So hey, I may go over scripts next week, man. I don't know yet, man. But get in the group and let me know what type of ideas that you guys have or what you want me to talk about here on Mondays. And hey, that's how we're gonna make it happen, man. Again, I appreciate you guys for coming out, checking me out, man. You gotta take it easy.